This is the first time I ever done a life sentence. I've done some hard time. I can't do it no more, and it's not the same in here no more. It's all messed up.
I had to learn everything on my own because I grew up in prison. If you go out with a prison mentality, you're not gonna last in society.
We're all the kids of something. Queens, live slaves, for your own imagination. Your throne is cold and waiting, but you possess the lock and key to your last temptation. And I know it's hard.
I was 17 the first time. I think I was about 21 the second time. I was about 27, 28, something like that. And I was in my 30s. I am 49 years old. My father had spent a lot of years in prison, which is probably why I survived in the first place, or I wouldn't.
And I know I killed you night and day, but there could be no other way.
My grandmother raised me, and my mother was in and out of prison for the majority of my life. I began using drugs at 18, and I've been on and off of them ever since. And I've been in recovery homes. I've been incarcerated in California. And I moved to New Mexico to get away from California, and I ended up getting in trouble there. It was difficult growing up. My father died of an overdose also when I was 16. But it was difficult with my mom in and out because I always wanted her around. But she wasn't ready to be a mom, I guess. And she's still in her addiction today.
This ain't my first rodeo. This is my 5th time in penitentiary. My name is Donald Lawson. I'm from Artesia, New Mexico. Being 50 years old, my time is running out, so I've already made some decisions in my life in here to change. Don't wait till you get out to change out there. Today is the day. You can't wait tomorrow, because you never know when you're gonna go. You never know the time of the hour. A lot of people hate on me because they know that I'm getting out. We just take it one day at a time, and we're all focusing on just going home to our families, and that's about it. You know, that's the only thing we're focusing on is going home. And that's about all I can really tell you.
I get chilled just thinking about it, even as a grown ass man. And all the chickens in the bread box, the done ain't no right out the pan. Now the bruises gonna fit my hand.
My name is Steve Nance, and I am the warden at Southern New Mexico Correctional Facility. I became the warden here December 10th of 2011. When I deal with an inmate, I'm not considering that inmate's crime. That crime may be disgusting to me. I'm not their judge. My purpose here is specific. It's to keep them here as long as the courts say they have to be here, to offer the programs, to keep the facility as safe as possible. And that's my role. My role is not to judge them. Prisons are not therapeutic environments. Some inmates leave here with the idea that they are going to go out, they are going to go back to their communities for a while, but their expectation to remain out is not there. They fully believe that it's very possible that they will come back. One of our responsibilities to the community and to the public is to encourage inmates to work on those issues, because we want to send an inmate out of here that's not going to create another victim, that's going to go back into the community and live their lives and be a productive citizen and not be this burden that they are on the community. You want to see inmates leave here and never come back.
9 out of 10 people, when you let them out of prison, the first thing they do is go get high. I've done it many times. And the only thing that helped me last time was somebody said, pass by the liquor store, pass by the dope house, and go home. And I did it, and it helped me. But any other time I couldn't wait to get out the gate, to stop at the liquor store, and smoke me some weed and drink on the way home. By the time I get to my PO, I'm already high. You can get anything you want in there. It's no different than being on the street. If you want to get high, you're going to get high. You know, it's a shame to say it, but you would think when you came to prison that it would be easy for you to clean up, but it's harder. The thing about it is when you get out of prison and you get a dirty urine, you come back to prison.
Pissing dirty, drugs, pissing dirty.
That's not going to keep you from getting high. It don't help you at all. Legislature should make build rehabilitation centers so guys coming out of prison can go there first. They can help them with a job, schooling, and counseling, and then let them go to society.
How do we know that a program is doing any good? How do we know that it's meeting those goals?
I came to prison for a homicide. It was drug related. I came to prison for receiving stolen property. It was drug related. I came to prison for possession of narcotics. It was drug related.
Something that we have not done in the past. We're looking at those programs, we're developing those standards, and we're developing those measures so we can decide if this is a program that we should keep, maybe we should introduce another type of program, but that everything is focused on how we can best impact public safety.
When the root of the problem, when it's all said and done, it had to do with drugs.
That's my downfall, drugs, crystal meth. Yeah.
I don't want to be a inmate, a convict, or a prisoner. You know, I want to be a human being in society functioning.
I'm Greg Markentel. I am the Secretary of Corrections. We're going to have to really take a look at being more intelligently driven on how it is that we deliver rehabilitative services. If they've got an addiction, try to work on that. If part of the addiction has led to a lack of education or job skills, try to work on that. And at the same time, the overarching issue for me is to also work on creating a sense of why it is that all of these things are important and something bigger than themselves. We've got to make sure that we're using the available tax dollars that are out there in meaningful and intelligent ways, and so it's going to be important. Part of what we're doing in terms of trying to figure that out is the governor had blessed us with an executive order pulling together a task force, if you will, for criminal recidivism reduction. I have tried my best to understand criminal behavior. I don't know how to fix it, but I can tell you that if there are any solutions that are going to make meaningful impacts in the future, it's going to be collaborating with men and women who can bring different ideas to the table. And so I think the task force is going to be, I think, an incredible step forward for us as a state.
We take you to the Hotel Martinet in Brooklyn, where Bobby Millett and his orchestra are offering a program of dance music.
It's made me realize that there's still consequences to pay if I don't walk the straight and narrow. We owned an RV park, and I was taking care of it, and I brought my guns from my house and was cleaning them and stuff, and I had a guy that was there working with us, and he took my guns, and I'd called and reported them stolen and this, that, and the other, and the sheriff coming, and we found out who took them, and another buddy that come in about 2 hours later told me where the guns was, and I kind of got caught up in the moment, and I told him, let's go get them, and that was a bad mistake on my part right there.
My name is Robert May. I'm the Region 3 Manager for the Probation Parole Division. I've worked for the Probation Parole Division for 23 years. My officers do have the authority to arrest, and they'll do a lot of searches when they do fill calls if they go to a home. There are things in the home, contraband in the home, there's visible violations and there's probable cause to do a search, they can search the home. You never know what you're going to find.
We tell them to come in. If they have anything, of course they're going to hide it or dump it. They're not here, we'll leave a card for them to call us so that way we know we're at the right place at least. If we absolutely need them to be here, we can always call them and try to make sure they're here at a certain time. Like if we keep coming over there and they're not here, they're not here. There's no way for us to verify unless a family member's here or something like that. We are able to search without a warrant if it's the reported address, but we can't just go into the house. Somebody has to let us in.
They've got a lot of problems, obviously, finding employment, getting started into treatment, following the conditions because there's a lot of rules and regulations that they have to comply with when they get out. Association, getting back onto the streets, associating with people that they've grown up with, who they've hung around with for many years of their lives, and staying clean. Those are typically the most difficult challenges for them in making it through that first year or even their first month. If they can get a job and they've got the support system and they can stay away from their associations and stay away from drug use, typically they're gonna be a little more successful.
Before, I was always afraid of my parole officers, of course, because I was using and I was like trying to hide what I was really going through. But now I've learned that it's important for them to know what's going on because maybe, you know, there's resources they can help me with. And she has done that. She really has. It's almost like she's checking on me. It's her job to like make sure that I'm complying. I got a good PO.
You know, I'm your probation officer. I'm here for you.
I could talk to her about anything, you know, like whatever I'm going through, whatever I feel like I can talk to her. This time it feels really, really good that I have been clean. I am clean. They can show up at any given time and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and it feels great.
I work the gender-specific caseload as well as the drug court program. I'm the officer in charge of the drug court program. I used to be an investigator for Child Protective Services for over 2 years.
My focus right now is getting my children back. My oldest and my youngest are with their father, and my twins are literally in my care, but my son is in foster care and my daughter lives with her Nina, her godmother. I wasn't accustomed to foster care or CYFD or FY or anything like that, and when that happened, that was just like, whoa, that was a big shock.
It's very hard not to take it home. I can tell you from my caseload, I've seen, you know, kids being removed from CYFD, and even though I used to do it, still gets to me.
We were at the therapist's, and he said, well, his therapist says, is there anything you would like to say to your mother? And he's just like leaned back on his chair and he just like slouched down and he's like, my mom just got out and she's going back again. She's leaving me again. That still sticks with me, but in a way I needed to hear that before I left because that always stuck with me. Once I got to prison, that the way he reacted was like very heartbreaking, but when I got to prison, I was like, okay, what are you going to do? Are you just going to sit here and do nothing with your time, or are you going to change your life? Are you going to use the classes and resources that are here, or are you just going to sit here and do nothing?
Okay, she was just released in December. She was not the only one who started with me in December. Some of the people who started with me in December who were out on parole have already been are already back in prison. And she's one of the few ones who are still here. And those are the ones that you work with, and you try with Melissa. I will not give up. I want her to finish, and I want her to finish successfully. I do.
Telling me, man, I got 2 more days in a wake up. I said, I can't wait to see you go. You know, because then I had 2 more days in a wake up.
There's been so many situations.
I'm excited with my new life, and I really do believe in my heart that I'm gonna make it this time, because I'm too old for this crap.
I miss my children more than anything, you know, because I'm an older man and I got a kid that's 6 and one that's 2.
My plans, I don't know yet. I mean, I have a little baby now, so I want to raise her, and I really want to go back home, but I'm struggling with that right now. Without a support system, it's really hard, it's difficult.
See, I come from a good, loving church family. I was ashamed at first, big time. I was suicidal for a minute because I messed up, and I was doing so good because I had a 299 sobriety under my belt, clean, 299 clean time, and I messed it up just for one night, so I was kind of feeling shame about it. When I went to the pro board, my conditions is I got to go to AA, NA, and I got a 9 o'clock curfew. That's all my conditions on pro.
And then I didn't know what was going to go on inside. And then I seen a guy standing up, but I didn't realize it was him until I actually walked in.
I was standing there the whole time. She didn't see me.
Mm-mm.
I seen you come in from way over there.
My heart was like, ah.
I went for sure at first, and I looked, I go, I think that's her.